Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
It's a fake. 180! It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
A
first carry now for Nick Chubb. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, 133.
From the 41, Mayfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It looked like he tried it all there, tried to use some physicality, right? Tried to use some footwork, some head fakes, but he was covered the entire way. Dogged in every step. That forced the incompletion. No separation at the end of the route.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there.
It's now 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Nick Chubb stops short. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Hey, echo. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Check. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike. Stand. 53. Let's go. Get it.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
8-3. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go.
First carry now for Justice Hill. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
On the double. 53. Check 53. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Got an open man. It's Scott. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. He came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Minshew sets to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Here's Minshew. Got a man, it's caught. For a Ravens touchdown. Jaleel Scott, his first touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mayfield, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14, and he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd and goal. Minshew looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. But now it's 3rd and goal.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal.
Smooth. Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Ready?
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Browns take over 1st and 10. Let's go. 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And getting our first update now from Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now they try the right side here. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And they give this time to the tailback. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Ready to break. 53, Mike. Watch the run. Good stop, baby. That's baby stop. Go. Watch motion. Let's go. Here we got Mike. Hey, orbit. 53. Shoot.
Minshew, 1st and 10. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven 1st.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now Minshew. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
53, check 53.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53. Mike.
On 2nd down, Minshew. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Browns take over first and 10
Play to win.
at
Let's
their own
go.
25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
Back to it after the pick six, Mayfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor, but it'll be second down.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
They go with Chubb on second down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing, Mayfield. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit. We're not even at halftime.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Out of the gun is Minshew. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mayfield now. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll find Taylor. That's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
But just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. So they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Ready. 50, plant. Hey. My 7.
Yo. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some.
Now.
On 2nd and 9. Minshew. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
60 outlaw.
Number 53, Mike.
5.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Hey, let's get in them holes. 53's the Mike.
Hey, exit.
Yeah.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Alpha.
You're not ready. Hey, check Mike.
Big grip.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, check Mike 27. I'm coming for you.
Again, Minshew looking to throw. Looking for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Let's see who's faster.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. He'll look to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Real. Don't get nervous. Check. 53's mine.
Here's Mayfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Mayfield to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Landry, the intended target. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go. Set. 10 Lobo. Bravo.
Watch the pass. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. All day.
Get it.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Jannard Avery in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Watch time. Tight end right.
Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Taking about the 16. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
The tackle made at the 37-yard line.
Set, ready, 8, read.
27. Here we go, here we go.
Hey, zoom.
Hey, check Mike 27, check Mike 27. Right.
Now on 2nd and 13. Minshew looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18.
Here we go.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
27, check Mike 27.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Ready, 60 or.
6-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. As a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 3-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Fighting his way through contact.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 41-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Throwing on second down, Minshew. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Ravens on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Let's go, baby. Turnovers. Get that ball. Get that ball. Mike, 50.
They'll set up a throw. He wants it all for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Mayfield, that's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Mayfield off the play fake. Now a desperation throw deep down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
A 7-yard pickup.
And to give this time to the tailback. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided.
30 base. What's the ball? Dude.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Baltimore, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. That'll do it for us.